a guest.
Raj, you brought up international brands coming here, but I wanted to know how your hotels are welcoming international travelers. Hilton has a program that's dedicated for Chinese travelers. I think it's Hilton Huangying, where it's a welcome kind of where they can cater to the Chinese traveler. Are you guys doing that now with your brands? Is that going to be more something to look at in terms of welcoming international guests, whether they're from China, India? And where are your international guests?
I mean, you have to. You have to do it, and quite frankly, I mean, we have probably over 600-700 properties overseas. I'm not even saying Canada, over 1,000, up to 2,000 now. I think overseas. So what ends up happening is you have to create the synergies with not only your international properties, but your U.S. properties as well, because that's a great opportunity to have loyalty and those guests and everything else involved. So, you have to have all the programs, and we have to, I think the biggest thing for the groups is the rewards program, the loyalty program. I think that's one of the biggest things that helps drive loyalty amongst the travelers here in the U.S. as well.
You look at this market as an example. I mean, and every one of us have properties here, I think. And when I stay at one of our hotels in Manhattan, the Germans, the English, I mean, there's more Europeans than there are Americans in the hotels for the most part. They come to the large cities. They want to experience America, but they have UW Rewards card because we're the largest brand in France, in England, in Italy, in Germany. They know us.
Right.
Now, the product is considerably different in Europe. It's unique. It's, there's not a lot of new construction. There are castles, there's this, that, whatever. There's 20 roomers. But it's familiarity. Mm-hmm. And they want what they're familiar with. So, and we all have that. It's not necessarily catering to one group in particular. Mm-hmm. Some cities may do that, like the West Coast, San Francisco may do it more for the Asian community, right, and what have you. But I guess his point again, rewards. It's universal.
I think the international travel pattern has just not remained into gate cities only. Mm-hmm. Now you see international travelers going to the inner cities of the United States also. So the brand, two things have become critical. One, strategic international expansion, and two, strategic marketing to the international guests that are coming to the United States too. Mm-hmm. So for any brand to be successful, they need to look into those two areas, or short or long term.
That name recognition is huge. If you've got name recognition outside of the United States, if you're large enough or do have penetration into those markets, that makes all the difference. The number of international travellers, I'd love to know the statistics that are coming over and staying at properties like mine that I don't have that international name recognition compared to a Best Western, for example. Or, of course, everyone knows Marriott, everyone knows Hyatt, everyone knows the Starwood properties. I mean, it is a major opportunity or something that if you don't start to reach out and do that in some capacity, I think there's a lot to be left on the table.
I think the web has made it easier for brands to achieve or get in front of international clients, much easier than what it was 10, 15 years ago.
Definitely, it's the comfort factor of foreign nationals coming to the United States and staying somewhere that they haven't heard of. I know that people come from Australia, they know Best Western and they're comfortable with it. And so having that recognition and that association, I think, is a tremendous benefit.
The internet has also made mid-scale much easier for international inbound travelers because they don't need a concierge. Right. What is a concierge? A 70-year-old white-haired guy who can recommend restaurants and get theater tickets, but all of the information about where can you find shopping and entertainment and other things of interest to those international travelers, they can do that with social media and the internet now.
Right.
So it's not displaced the concierge, but it certainly has made mid-scale more accessible to international travelers.
I call it select services, because mid-scale is a misnomer in some fashion or ways, but select services, in my opinion, is also a good value proposition. international travelers generally look for a good value proposition.
Right.
The only thing different is that, yes, people always look for something familiar, but today on a web, they can search comments from other guests through TripAdvisor.
Right.
They can look at all the pictures possible. They can look at the location, the convenience of it too. So there is more research available to a client. So all in all, I think today clients become so smart that they can research well enough to position themselves and find the right hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that the brands need to be cautious of or cognizant of is making sure that we're ready to receive this influx of global travel, just from a product standpoint. Because the last couple of years, the economy's been solved. We've had a lot of deferred maintenance on PIP, saying, hey, when things get better. So all these folks are going to come, and they're going to land on our shores, and they're going to go to hotels. That if there's a lot of deferred maintenance, they haven't completed the PIPs, that's going to be a lost opportunity when they show up and they say, wow, this hotel is old, it's tired, it's dated. So we have to make sure from a branding standpoint that we're ready to receive them, and we hold our franchisees accountable for keeping their hotel
colors, the number of columns in the lobby, or cultural issues.
The 14th floor, what is it?
that luxury and upper upscale have been dealing with for decades. That mid-scale really is still learning about.
Right.